Clarets TV talking to City Manager Robbie Simpson following the 1-0 FA Cup victory against Enfield Town. Robbie, it was difficult conditions and it proved to be a difficult game in the end, didn't it?
It was a tight game. First half, it wasn't us, not the way I wanted us to play. Conditions might have been a hindrance. We're actually with the wind in the first half, and that seemed to hinder us, and then flipped it second half, it seemed to hinder Enfield a bit. But I said my piece at half time with the players, and in fairness to them, they came out, and I think just speaking to some of the Enfield players and staff there, they felt like we really upped our level and showed our superiority for that first half of the second half, and we definitely did. And lots of stuff we worked on Thursday we were doing, which we weren't doing in the first half. And in fairness, we should have probably had 3. We did have 1 just before we scored, but it didn't get given. And then we saw the game out well. We knew that they would then put players on and put us under pressure at the back, especially with the conditions, with the wind, and we stood firm. Jacob and the back 3 I thought were excellent. That's the whole of that second half, and job done.
Yeah, and we mentioned the conditions there. Do you think that was the difference between the first half and the second half, sort of getting used to playing with the wind, against the wind, or was it something else?
Yeah, it's the first time the wind's been so strong here, and it's quite often strong, blowing towards that end. And we maybe need to adapt our game to accommodate that, and maybe we'll work on that. And we haven't really worked on utilisation of the wind. And second half against it, we had to play football. We had to keep the ball low, and that suits us really well. So I wasn't surprised that we upped our game in the second half, especially after what we said at half time. But yeah, conditions are the same for both teams, and sometimes games are won and lost over who uses the conditions to their advantage the best.
Yeah, and was that a sort of challenge that you were expecting from Enfield? Obviously, we've come in here, it was a sort of a big game for them, so they sort of stepped up to it, didn't they? But we dealt with that well.
Yeah, they're a good team. I watched them live once, and then 2 of their other games, and then highlights of another. They're a good team, especially for that league, and I've said that they do okay in our league. They certainly give a good of account of themselves in our league. So yeah, fair play to them. They've got good players. Adam Cunnington up front's a handful, and a couple of good younger players. And it was tough in that first half. Man for man, because the 2 shapes were matched up. They played really well, and some really good individual performances from them. But it's a team that wins, and we deserve to win, and we deserve to be through.
Yeah, and there was a couple of players missing for us today. Adam Morgan and Ches Isaac, probably most notably. Are they okay? Are there any knocks?
Well, Ches, I had to bring him off at the end of the Dulwich game. I didn't want to, because he just jarred his knee, and then he woke up Sunday morning and couldn't move it. So we're waiting on a scan on that, and Morgs has just been ill for a few days. So he'll recover and then hopefully be okay for next week.
Yeah, and next week we move on to Hampton, Richmond away, another tricky game in the league, but focus turns straight onto that now after the cup game, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, back to the league. We're sort of coming off the back of a loss in the league, so it's really important to jump back on the train and gather momentum again. And tough place to go. Hampton, they've started well. They're a good team. We'll prepare as we usually do and create a game plan, but also work on doing things better our end, doing things that we know we're good at better, and then we'll see how the game goes.
Thanks, Robbie. Congratulations.
Thank you.